We are live, and you are in tune to ED Beats and Rhymes. Welcome back. I am your host, Jules DJ, and you're in tune to another episode, another one of that crazy episodes. Who do you got? We're talking classics again. We're talking amazingly younger age hip hop, but ironically still 80s that drived into the 90s. We're talking about two legends. Let's talk about your man KWAME with his debut album, The Boy Genius, featuring A New Beginning, going up against Brooklyn's own Special Ed with the youngest in charge.
Yeah, buddy.
ED Beats and Rhymes, make some noise.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were talking off camera. I almost feel like it's, like as if it was the Bow Wow era, and it was Bow Wow versus Bow Wow. I mean, respectfully, both these guys were teenagers. I'm just and it's no slight. I'm just saying, like, Bow Wow was at his peak. He was big news in hip hop when he was young. And both these guys dropped incredible music when they were just mere teenagers. They were still in high school when they dropped their first project. We're talking about 1989. That's a year that we can get into as far as like where music was also changing as far as hip hop. We had that conversation later on throughout the night. But let's introduce the rest of the room. And don't forget, we do this here live every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at ED Beats and Rhymes. Catch us here. Make sure you tune in, follow. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on all your audio podcast needs. We got it. ED Beats and Rhymes, one word. Let's get start out with my man all the way down south. My man, 2 Up, 2 Down. DJ Hobo, Triple T Radio. Sir, what is going on?
What up? What's going on?
Listen, man. You know about KWAME. You know about Special Ed.
I do.
Simple question. Debut album from both.
I was a young lad at this time.
So were they. That's the irony of it. Let's talk
I was actually probably the same age as them, actually.
Think about that now. That should make it even more interesting tonight.
Probably the same age as
Think
them.
about it that way. I ask you, sir.
Yep.
Boy Genius featuring A New Beginning or the youngest in charge? Who do you got?
I am going with the youngest in charge, sir. And I just want to say that Bow Wow is not as nice as either one of these dudes. So don't be associating them with Bow Wow.
we can dissect throughout the night. If anybody's in the chat room yet, like I said, if anybody wants to talk about it, who were other young MCs than Nas, for example. I mean, around the time Illmatic drops, he's still a teenager, technically. I mean, so we could talk about that throughout the night. Let's drop little nuggets throughout the night of young teenagers that dropped classic either songs or projects. But let's keep it pushing. Your man DJ Hobo putting his vote down, the first one in the room for Special Ed, the youngest in charge. Does anybody else feel the same? Does anybody else feel different? Who wants to step up next? I'm lying. I'm gonna pick the next person. DJ Scandalous, aka Baba Midi. So you almost made it sound like we were asking questions, Ryan. Well, we not. I need to know who do you got.
Oh man. I should go one way, but I'm going this way, so I'm going Special Ed, youngest in charge.
Oh, snap. I already see what's going on. And listen, if you're in tune and you know, but let's be clear. It doesn't mean even if the entire room goes one direction, that's how it's going to go throughout the night. Let's keep it pushing. Your man, Triple C from Queens. Triple C, quick fast, as we all know him, executive producer of the show. Triple C, you had a hand in getting tonight's game going. You know what I'm saying? You had a hand in the adjustments of tonight's, forthcoming battle. So I need to ask you with serious tone in my voice, the extra bass in there, who do you got?
I'm going with the guy that eats the alligator souffle.
We'll be doing two things at once. Who eats alligator souffle?
Special Ed.
Special Ed. Come on, man.
Come on, dog.
Jeez.
Come on, Jules.
Come on, son.
I'm not gonna be quick fast with it tonight, man. I'm gonna do 50 million things. The good Rev can't use the same link that he always uses to get in. I'm gonna be sending him the same link again. Trying to do that while I'm in. It's like alligator. What?
Potatoed alligator souffle. Actually,
you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know that. Hold on.
Jeez.
Good Rev always gotta come on, man. Ready? Good Rev gonna have to wait. Let's keep it pushing. Hold on. I feel bad now. Hold on. Copy invite.
This guy.
You know what I'm saying? Go in. You know what I'm saying? Me? What you mean? You better give the Rev the same energy. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. You better give the Rev the same energy. Listen.
I mean, I think the Rev knows those lyrics though, Jules. So I don't know.
Listen, I was doing too many things at once. Look, there you go right there. And I still got to change his name from him too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You got to save it.
We need to get the good Rev a computer class.
He's like, no, I know how to do it, but he just won't do it. Anyway, let's keep it moving around the room. Let's go all the way to the West Coast. My man, my brother's back. Cool Breeze in the building. The real Cool B. What is up, sir?
Chilling, man. How's it going, guys?
Breeze.
Chilling. Listen, sir, we
What
talking
up?
two
Welcome
classic
back.
projects.
Thank you.
Technically from the 80s, even though they bled into the 90s. We're talking Kwame's first album, Special Ed's first album. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go with Special Ed on this one, man.
Man, this whole room is just feeling one-sided right here. It's feeling very. I'm about to get out of frame the way it's so heavy on this room right now. Oh, man. Okay, I see what's going on. Like I said, if you watch the game enough times, you know that it doesn't matter that everybody chooses one side of the room in the very beginning because the game will dictate what the game dictates. Let's keep pushing and keep it moving all the way down on the East Coast side of things. My man Ike Infamous, what is going on, Mr. Street FM? What is up?
Yo, peace. What up, Jules? Peace. What up, fellas?
What's up?
Yeah.
What up?
Hey, what up, Ike?
Talking classic projects, you already know. Special Ed, Kwame, who do you got?
I was a young lad, man. The only person that I could really vote for on this one is Special Ed, man.
Oh my
Potato alligator souffle.
Curry potato, boy.
Got it made.
Got it, man. Got it.
He did in the video, right?
Babe.
Just like that.
Yeah, listen, like I said, if you don't take care of home, this is what ends up happening. You end up moving the key from underneath the doormat, leaving it for the people like Hobo, and then for the people like the Good Rev, and then the key's not there no more. Then luckily he found the extra key. Your man, the Good Reverend Doctor's back in the building. What is up, sir?
Good.
I left you the key underneath the flower pot as usual.
Just for the record, I don't need no computer class, yo. You know what I'm saying? We got
it made. Because he got it made.
You got it made.
we got technical difficulties. Down here.
No, but keep it real. No, what the world really wants to know right now is there something in the oven? Pause. Is there a brisket?
Yes, I was going to ask
something
what's
roasting?
cooking.
Yeah, we want to know.
Some turkey spaghetti.
Wow.
Turkey
He never
spaghetti.
keeps it
Okay.
simple. He always keeps it very elegant, very fancy for the eats, beats, and rhymes portion of the show. The Good Rev, listen, sir, while we're checking up temperatures of the night to make sure that comes out just right, I need to ask you a question. We're talking Kwame, the Boy Genius, featuring A New Beginning, going up against Special Ed, the youngest in charge. Who do you got?
I was thinking about this all day because I haven't listened to either of these albums in so long.
89.
At first, I was like, the rhythm, Only You.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, we on a mission, so I got to go with Special Ed.
Oh, snap.
Quack,
Rev putting the last vote down for the room. The entire room, again, not the first time it's happened, but the entire room has voted for Special Ed, the youngest in charge. It's going to be an interesting night. Like I said, don't forget, it's also going up against Kwame's The Boy Genius featuring A New Beginning. It's going to be a fun night tonight. Like I said, we're going to play a lot of gems. We're going to go back in time. 1989. Oh, my goodness. What a time to be alive. And let's be clear, these are both debut projects from both these artists. This is a time when, like I said, when labels were either gonna put out one song and let it rock and be what it be, or sometimes you got the budget. Both these guys got the budget. They had 3 singles, if not 4 singles a piece. So it's kind of interesting to see where this can go tonight. Let's go ahead and start.
One of those guys still have the budget.
One of those guys still. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Well, let's go ahead and say both those guys still put out music, even if it's different variational ways of putting it out. Whether it's beats, but I know Special Ed just dropped something musically not too long ago either. So like I said, the hip hop still runs deep in the roots with these guys that helped plant it very early on. Again, 1989. Both these guys were probably 16 to 17 years old when the albums dropped, which means they're even young while they're recording it. It's an interesting thing. And again, a lot of the self-production that went on inside on Kwame's project also had to do with Herbie Lovebug and the Invincibles. Not familiar with those guys, maybe you guys are. Mm-hmm. But there was a lot going on to the sound that Kwame was dropping. So if you're familiar with the channel, you know that sometimes I like to take, when we're going against album, I like to take the first song off each album to see if it dictates the sound or just what's the intro of the album going to sound like, what we're expecting to be. Let's go ahead and start with Kwame's Boy Genius.
February 10th, 1989, 5:35 a.m. A young man sits in his room, working on the formula to the perfect rap. as he punches the final program. He is labeled as the boy genius.
Hold the microphone with the Uzi grip. The rhymes are the ammo and the brain is the clip. Cause I'm smarter than a microchip. And the mic don't slip when I strike your lip on the psycho tip. I know game, so don't try to base all mistakes, strokes of genius, so I'll never erase. It's a show and prove, not a show and tell. And I'm a show thrill, any no thrill. MC heavy to a featherweight while I land. Because I'm overweight, the perfect place, the perfect time with me. I get spectacular, the microphones across the those are biting them out like Dracula. Some say we bit, some say we munch. Because the major whole posse look like the Brady Bunch. Because the black that took the rap has now returned. For Mike was mine, you felt the rhythm, and now you learn. Cause I'm the Quam, capital K, rap it all day. How was the pause button, slap it on play.
As the night goes on, so does this invincible
I was gonna let that rock, but I mean, it's the same kind of concept. It's a hook of him talking, so it's not like we're really missing anything. But KWAME's intro right there to the game, kind of interesting, even for its time. Something a little different. Got the sound effects going in the background, kind of telling the story as we go. That's not to be deterred by what Special Ed brought to the table with his first song off his album entitled "Young is in Charge." We're talking about track number 1. Let's talk about Taxin'.
Pose for the photos, address the press, I take a rest to let my rhymes digest into my brain, to sustain and cultivate it. Take a penny for my thoughts, from copper I go plated. Enrich my mind like wine till I find what I need to exceed with speed, proceed blind. Fold it, I take the mic, I grab it and I hold it, then I walk to it, talk to the crowd, yo, I sold it. You bought it, you thought it wouldn't work, but the record went gold, it's sold. Jerk, I'm worldwide, from girls I hide, not gay, no way, but they all wanna ride mine. They bring me roses and wine, but I hate cheap sex, so next time, come correct like an intellect. Okay, do you hear what I say? Check yo, on the rhyme I'm a lyrical droid, and whosoever shall front shall be destroyed. The lyrical composers I produce are legit. My name is Special Ed, and yo, your name ain't. And I'm powerful in my state of mentality, taking MCs, yes, of any nationality, blitzing them, dissing them, or I'm pissing them, making them solo, dogs won't be kissing them. You got tact, face the fact. Now where's the jokes and all the wise cracks you made before you got slayed by the slayer? Special Ed and DJ Action on the record player, chillin', still in the back, just maxing. Me in the front, to be blunt, I'm taxing. I'm taxing. When I'm over,
I'm taxed.
Yeah.
There it is. You heard it. You're right there. Tracks are the first songs off of each project.
Yes.
Boy Genius versus Taxing. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Who wants to step up first? That's first song off each project. Who do you got?
I think it's easy for me to just go with Special Ed on this one. And it kind of, the first record for me lays out what the album is going to be for me. And it's a little bit more rhythm. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily, I don't hate on the sounds of the 80s and shit like that. It's just about how you do them. And Special Ed got a little bit more rhythm in this first record.
And the thing is probably like 15, 16 recording that record right there. Sound like a grown-ass man.
Yeah, he definitely
did.
He definitely did.
He definitely did.
He still sounds the same right now. Like
could have been a junior in high school at the time. He could have been.
I mean,
I was in the 5th grade
when that dropped.
When that joint came out, and I'm gonna have just for that particular joint, just on the break alone, I gotta go with Special Ed.
Oh snap! Two
I like how he used the break, even though we all know Kwame is the better producer, but
well, I mean,
Hitman Howie T put out some joints for Special Ed. Son.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man,
and for others.
And for others.
Yo, for Taxin', I think, especially as we get into the conversation tonight, I think Taxin', if you really listen to it, man, if you listen to it in comparisons like 89 and then compare it to Kwame's album, it's kind of like what Ike said. It's the feel is there, the rhythm is there. It's not a typical James Brown loop or anything like that. It's just a funkier song. And then with those lyrics, the way Special Ed is actually attacking the beat, It's on point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah. Kwame is at a disadvantage because Special Ed is a better lyricist.
Yep.
Yeah.
But this first joint, I'm feeling the Kwame joint on this one.
All right. Talk
feeling
about
that.
it, Trip. Talk about
Go ahead, Trip. Go ahead, Trip.
That pimpage type thing going on. That
Okay.
He was on this pretty boy kind of shit at the time.
He was.
It always goes back to guns, Cadillacs, and Bud with fucking Triple C, right?
and Thug Lovin'.
It gave me
Thug
that.
Lovin'. Don't forget the Thug
Love.
It gave me that Harlem Nights type of feel.
Harlem Nights type of feel. I mean, Trip is the first one to vote for the Boy Genius. Does anybody else feel the same, or is it safe to say the entire room is feeling Taxon at the moment?
I'm going with Taxon, man.
I figured as well.
I also am going with Taxon. I was 15 when this album came out, so I remember it very well.
Yeah,
he's not that much older than us. He's only 51. Special Ed.
Yeah.
He's still dropping music. I said he just did something recently. I forgot what it was. I saw an update on my timeline. But again, wrapping up round number one, debut projects from both these young hip hop prodigies at the time. Kwame versus Special Ed, the Boy Genius, featuring A New Beginning, going up against the youngest in charge. We decided to talk about the best first song on each project, which was Boy Genius up against Taxon. And while it wasn't entirely one-sided, Taxon takes the win in round number one, putting Special Ed on the board 1-0.
Okay.
Special Ed on the board. Listen, it's gonna get interesting tonight, man. Like I said, we can a lot of things to talk about. Like I said, to see how this album goes up against each other. But let's talk about the elephants in the room. Let's talk about the first singles of each project. We had to talk about them eventually. Now, I think it might be one-sided. Obviously, it kind of, both records go heavy, but I think I think we all know one rang a little louder than the other. However, the battle still needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? The round needs to continue. And I say it by this round, when I ask everybody in the room, let's talk about the best first single each project.
Skip this round.
Right. I think it's already decided.
Both songs equal out on the BPM, okay? They're about the same kind of vibe. The Man We All Know and Love versus I Got It Made. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Would you laugh at Triple? We laughing so hard, Triple D.
Is the tape rolling? Is it loud enough? Ayo, Dre. I kick it. One of these kids is doing his own thing. One of these kids is one and the same. One of these kids is doing his own thing. Now it's time to say his name. What's his name? It's the man we all know and love. What's his name? I think his name is Kwame. Oh yeah, that's him. Look who gets him into this game. Kwame. Oh yeah, Kwame. It's the man we all know and love. Oh, I flutter. Kwame. I came home, there was company. Some young lady, friends of the family. Coming with a strut, showing all maturity. She looked me over once just to make sure it's me. She hadn't any kids, no rings that she carried, so I quickly assumed this pretty girl wasn't married. The girl was fly, cover not grown. Pinched me on the cheek and said, look how he's grown. Compliments on my shoes, clothes, and some. Saying to my mother, oh God, he's so handsome. Now for this lady, I kinda had the hot. She was laughing with my mother at my baby snapshots. But what got me going to set the day right is when she asked my mother to spend the night. And now my mother said, sure, let her to my door. Sleep on Quan's bed, he can sleep on the floor. Bother me none, plus she'll go to sleep soon. Plus I was feeling lucky I was in the same room. That night, we both couldn't sleep, so I had to do something just to keep us awake and not be bored. So the bomb started talking about the places I toured.
It keeps going. By the way, the voting booth is incorrect. Whoever put the voting booth up, it's actually the Man We All Know going up against I Got It Made, not the Magnificent. I Got It Made, I said.
My bad.
It's all good. Let's go ahead and move on to the next song. Like I said, this one is a tough song to go against. Let's be honest. Sometimes in the battles, we know there are certain records that are just like we should probably avoid this record, or we take it on and we're no.
Thank you, Scared. Thank you. I want to hear the record though. I want to hear the record.
That's what I'm saying. This is one of those cases where the record needs to be heard. Thank you, Ike. I assume you're still not on my side, but I agree with you. I think you feel agreeing with me some way, somehow.
Wait, time out. I didn't say anything about agreeing. I said I want to hear the record.
I said I knew you didn't agree with me. I knew that for a fact. I was trying to block the initial snub you were trying to give me. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about special eds. I got it made.
I'm your idol, the highest title, numero uno. I'm not a Puerto Rican, but I'm speaking so that you know. And understand I got the gift of speech and it's a blessing. So listen to the lesson I preach. I talk sense condensed into the form of a poem. Full of knowledge from my toes to the top of my dome. I'm kinda young, but my tongue speaks maturity. I'm not a child, I don't need nothing for security. I get paid when my record is played, to put it short. I got it made, I got it made, I got it made, I got it made. I'm outspoken.
Whew. I just had to let the break finish. It was dope.
You didn't even let the whole special ed joint rock as long as you did the Kwame joint.
No.
You feel like we know that song enough that we don't need to hear it or something?
Yeah, like that's gonna sway where the vote is gonna go. You know what I mean?
You guys are really good.
I'm just asking.
You gotta get updated voting booths, man. You can't do that shit with these 1940, 50 voting booths, dude.
Listen, man, how was it my fault he dropped 8 bars and kept it silent for the next 4?
He kind of did.
I don't know what to say.
He did.
He did.
And then he gave us 4 of nothing, and then he came back in. I'm out smoking like, wait, okay, that's kind of cool. But that's what made the record dope. He did his own thing.
This dude Jules just played I Got It Made and turned it off. All right.
He's just like, yeah.
I'll give him his credit.
Ursula, what's going on?
You got to give him his credit, though, man. He's right. There's a little bit of a break where you could appreciate that fucking iconic.
And I let the break finish.
You know what I'm saying? That iconic classic loop. You know what I mean?
Be clear, they shaking their heads in the chat room the way y'all treat me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Ursula
they questioning me.
What's going on?
They questioning me.
What is that? What is that sample?
Ripple.
Which one? The special ed?
Well, I Got It Made. Yeah, special ed.
Is Ripple.
Yeah.
Ripple's
I don't know what it is, but it sure is funky. I got that in the Serato. And it's only like a 2-bar sample.
Yep.
I believe it.
It may not even be 2. It might be a bar and a half, and they just
the way Howie T flipped it.
They made it happen.
Hitman Howie T, son. Hitman Howie T. I like the way he flipped a lot of the samples on this album, which we'll get into
talking the
later.
80s.
We're talking 80s. It's crazy. I didn't realize. Say it again.
It's a Kid and Play song too.
Yeah, which song?
Yeah, I can see.
It was in House Party. Hola, hola, hey.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. That's one of my favorite Kid and Play songs.
That's Roll Kid and Play.
Yeah,
it's that. It's the beginning of that.
Boom.
I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room, though. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Like I said, The Man We All Know and Love versus I Got It Made. Both first singles of each project, introducing the first, bites of information that we got from back then to hear these young teenagers dropping hip hop music, which was probably even new at that time. Who do you got? Who wants to step up first?
Scam, what were you saying about Howie T?
No. Well, first let's do this before I answer that question. Let's just all look at the camera and all unanimously just look at the camera and vote a special ed for this round.
Yeah.
And then after that,
special ed.
Yeah.
Special ed.
Thank you. That was very kind of you. I appreciate that. That was nice.
Thank you, Scam. Thank you.
No, it's very rare someone opens my door. It's very rare someone opens my door. I'm usually
the voting booth. It's 1955 voting booths, dude. That was you got to get it updated on that one.
Rarely get to drive. Rarely get to sit in the back of the Bentley. Usually drive.
Howie T did Whistle. Remember that song Whistle? Only by Whistle Buggin'. You're Only Buggin'. The 80s
song.
Yes.
That's how I didn't realize that was Howie T also. I was like, oh snap.
I didn't realize that either.
Howie T been putting in Brooklyn work for a minute.
Yeah.
A lot of Brooklyn artists on since back in the day.
Yeah, I didn't want to see this. I didn't want to see this round, man, because to me, I got it made. It's a stadium classic, man. It's a forever hip hop record.
is.
It's a forever
is,
record.
man.
That's like the go-to. That's the go-to.
Like you can never go wrong anywhere, anytime with this record at all. You know what I mean?
At all.
So
it's one of those records where everyone knows the words to it and like it's just in it as soon as it comes on.
As soon as you hear the first four bars in that break, didn't. You're like, okay, that's it. We out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
you burn me,
right?
Really?
You got it. Just so you know, Jules. So you know, just so you know, Jules, you got to wait until towards the end of the song to hear Potato Alligator Souffle.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that, and this because I was gonna say
that might be
one of
why
those records that you just. This is one of those records that you let it rock to the end because you have to get to Potato Alligator Souffle.
You have to.
Your man had 74 Honda scooters though, kid.
Right, they're kind of fond of Honda scooters.
Yeah, you remember in the video when he said if he had beef, he has the team handle him, and it was like 800 dudes.
Right.
He said, "I brought the Army Brigade."
Yeah, there you go. Brought the
Army Brigade.
How ill that must have been for all of those kids to be in that video, just having fun. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I always got.
Brooklyn too. 89 Brooklyn.
Yeah, 89 Brooklyn. Yeah. He had a frog, a dog, and a solid gold bones, huh?
Yeah. That opportunity back then to be on TV, it was kind of like, what? And then he went.
Right.
Keep the cameras to the hood.
That video,
just like you said,
that video was popular.
Very popular.
Very popular because obviously the song knocked. So everybody wanted to see that video.
Shout out Mr. September. He specifically, Flatbush vibes, and he's right. It was
the Bush, the 90s, East 90s, bro.
Yeah, and they had
shout out to
the Brooklyn Library.
Shout out to Tweak Music Tips. First time in the joint. Shout out to you. What's going on?
Peace.
I see Urs in there too. Piece of the Urs.
And the next time you saw him, he was stealing Raheem's girl in Juice.
He was. Wait, was that before JT Freeze or after JT Freeze though?
That was during JT Freeze.
I think,
but literally, which one came first though? Because was he JT Freeze in Juice is the question.
JT Freeze was a 19.
Or was he special ed in Juice?
That's the $1 million question. That's what is it? The Easter egg?
Listen. At the end of the day, he still rolled off with the girl. JT Freeze.
He did. JT Freeze on special ed.
Or not.
Either way, I thought that was your girl.
Thought that was
your girl.
Those were the most disrespectful lines ever, bro.
Ever.
And it wasn't even Pac. It wasn't even Pac. It was Q.
Yeah.
Q said that was your girl.
Right. That was your girl.
From one player to another. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's the first rapper to be on a jet ski in the video.
And to think about it, right?
It was a hovercraft.
And no, the mission. He was in the hovercraft in the mission.
Oh, even better. A hovercraft.
No, think about it. What was Think About It came out first before the hovercraft? So Think About It was wasn't that the hovercraft and then the mission was the next one because the mission was the next album.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the mission was the next album. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I wasn't on this
right.
But listen, let's wrap things up real quick so we can talk a little more about both these guys. Wrapping up round number 2, best first single. Big elephant in the room. There was no way to detain it. We had to talk about it. We had Kwame's The Man We All Know and Love going up against Special Ed's I Got It Made. Obviously, the entire room with one swoop of DJ Scanless's DJ arm got us to quickly wrap up that round and basically came to the conclusion that Special Ed gets another point on the board. 2-0 at the moment, Special Ed. Let's see if the next round kind of squares things away a little bit. Might particularly balance things out.
End quickly.
Could end. Could very well be that.
I just looked at the time. Wow.
But let's talk about it. Listen, before we even do that, let's not forget to mention the sponsors, us. We do this every Monday night here live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Twitch. Don't forget to follow us here on Twitch and check out the episodes on YouTube. I promise you will not be disappointed. They're spicy. There's a lot of cool effects and things going on. Make sure you check us out there. Like and subscribe and comment. Shout out to everybody that likes and subscribes, specifically that comments. thumbs ups, whatever. We appreciate you. Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the ideas. Thanks for the criticism. Because again, we look into that. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, someone corrected me on illegal about where both those guys are from. Apparently on the show, I said Jamal was from South Carolina and it was from Philly when it looked like it was probably the other way around. No, actually, I was just going Jamal's from Atlanta. That's what he said in the comments. Jamal's from Atlanta.
Oh, he is from Atlanta because Eric moved to Atlanta during that time.
Exactly, and Malik was South Carolina probably.
They watching.
If I got it wrong again, let me know in this one's comment.
What's up, though?
Listen, round number 3. I think this guy said, like I said, this might either wrap things up or might help balance things out. Let's see what we're talking about here. We're obviously talking about Kwame, first debut project, The Boy Genius, featuring A New Beginning. That was considered to be his band, believe it or not, which is even early for 89. That this teenager had like a kind of makeshift band and going up against Special Ed's The Youngest in Charge with Howie T on the production, doing the entire album. And Howie T was kind of like, he's kind of bubbling at this point. So again, two big projects, same year, same age. They had to have been in competition secretly, kind of looking at each other like, what's your next move? What's your next move, right?
There's different tone of music.
It was all hip hop at that time.
Yeah, true.
It was all hip hop. It didn't even the hard. It was hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, that's that.
The hard.
I don't think anybody.
Hip hop. There's no time to dissect no shit like that. In the 80s, 89, nobody was dissecting that. Oh, that's tribe shit.
Rapping Duke.
That's gangster shit, and that's all hip hop.
No, that's not true.
Aretha Franklin,
That's
Let Me
not
Rock
the
You.
difference.
That's not true. Yeah, Trip's right. That's not different. That's because back then that was when Scarface came out, and that was definitely gangster music.
Yeah, but the term hadn't been invented yet.
Okay, well, that's true.
It was just
going by that.
That's what I'm going by. It was just hip hop. That's what I'm saying. It was, if it was even hip hop, it was probably just rap. Like this rap music. You know what I'm saying? Like there was
it was rap.
It was. We weren't at the levels of marketing yet, where it was making energy and noise to capture
this hippity hop noise.
This hippity hop noise. This fad is
what is this hippity hop noise you guys are listening to?
You gotta understand. For those that don't know or watching, and you're young and you don't, they thought this was a fad.
Yeah.
They thought for like
it was like they just talking.
Just talking. There were so many legit musicians at the time going like, this isn't it. Like, what are you talking about? That's not music.
Yeah.
And it was just like, all right. And here he is dissecting all these tracks later.
Yeah.
Round number 3. Again, both albums, Kwame, Special Ed. Let's talk about it. Something specific that we can have a conversation about, but we still have to ask, who do you got? Let's talk about production. Which album brought a sound to the table that either enabled the year and the sound and captured that moment, or just overall who had the better production on each album? But let's talk about production for a second. We're talking about, again, Herbie Lovebug, who was on fire at the time. We're talking Kwame doing production on there as well as another individual called the Invincibles. If anybody has information on those, just kind of throw that in there and let us know what they did. Regardless, those are people that took care of basically the Boy Genius album. And then you have Howie T taking up the entire bulk of production, every single song, if I'm not mistaken, on Youngest in Charge. So you have two sounds, Queens, because even Herbie is from Queens, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if the Invincibles are from, but Kwame, let's just call it the Queen sound. You got a Brooklyn sound. Let's talk production. Gentlemen, everybody in the chat room, internets, who do you got? Let me know in the comments. What are you talking about? Looking for the beat makers in the room to step up first, obviously.
I mean, I'll go first. I'm just trying to give everybody a chance. I want to give everybody a chance.
Oh, well, listen, you're supposed to take up the most time if we only got like a few minutes per round. Go for it. Take up the chunk.
I'm trying to let everybody live. You know what I mean?
Listen, at this point we have plenty of time. So you know what I'm saying?
so I'll start off before the master goes. We'll send the little kids out first. I mean, I like production wise, Howie T for me was it, and I understand the technicality behind Kwame's production and where he was looking at and how he was advancing the sound and the different things in hip hop. And you can hear everybody, and it's funny too, because I guess newer generations or people who were nowhere near connected to the 80s, anytime they hear the 80s, they hate that basic snare and kick from the Casio, that electronic cadence, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's really not the issue. It's actually, the Good Rev said it before, like where they were taking the samples and chopping it. This was advanced. This was 89 that led into the explosion into 91, 92. So I think Howie T for me gets this one because just he was technical, but he also kept the groove. And for me, it's always, you got to have a groove. You want the technicality, but you got to have a groove.
True.
Right. I agree.
That he did. So I being the first, again, not to scare to put his vote down, putting it down for, obviously, let's just call Howie T, but we're obviously talking about Special Ed's album. Anybody else feel differently or the same?
I don't think Howie T. I think Howie T was the Molly Mall. Howie T was the Molly Mall of Brooklyn.
Oh snap! I like that. That's a cool.
That's a strong statement, Triple C.
That's a strong statement. that is a strong statement.
Very.
Yeah, at that time he was doing it. He was really.
He was. You're right, because we could easily list at that point.
I said we could easily start listing artists, and it's like this one, this.
Right.
Even something that just made a smaller bit of noise, but like I said, he was working.
Right.
He was that guy for a minute.
Right.
So with that being said, I got 2 votes in. Ike and Trip, Scanner. You looking the same?
Yeah, I mean, just all right. So just to add on to what Ike was saying with everything with Howie T. Again, when we've talked about it, and I think even when Evil D was on, he kind of touched on something that lends, I think, to this era of hip hop with certain things, right? And when you're talking about like the evolution of like sampling and music and everything coming out of like that late 80s going into the 90s, everybody was just kind of stuck on doing James Brown loops, just using James Brown records. And then eventually it started to evolve. So I think if you kind of listen to it, right, Howie T, if you really listen to it, Howie T was using different drum sounds, different loops, and he's using reggae records because some of those are actually reggae records that Howie T is also using also. But then, you know, when you go back to the Queen side, when you go back to Herbie Love Bug, and Kwame, I think that sound was still connected to more of the late 80s sound because that late 80s sound was, ironically, they were using live instruments back then, right? So they were using like live bass guitars and things like that then. But I think it wasn't as evolved yet, right? Because you're coming out of, because even if you think about it, right? Kwame, Kid and Play, Salt and Pepper, that's East Elmhurst. That's that side of Queens. So it's a different musical influence if you know Queens and the music, you know, from Queensbridge to Elmhurst to Southside. There's a little bit of difference in the history of the musicians in the different neighborhoods. Like Louis Armstrong, I believe, was also in Flushing also. So when you kind of know like the history, all those different little styles play a little bit different, intricate part into the Queen sound, right? But I think it wasn't as developed yet. I think Tribe really, to me, that's why I'm a Tribe fan, kind of helped to flush that side out. But for this conversation, I think Howie T, because he was on fire already with Whistle, which I didn't realize he did that record, and then he did Chub Rock, and he did a lot of other records. And again, when you're producing records and I'm gonna tie back to Evil D right now, where remember kind of what you were saying too, Jules, and like with everything back then, it was still kind of unknown with hip hop, right? So you're not paying like it's not like now, right? In 2020, we're like, okay, we're going to D&D, or we're going to Quad, or we're going to Daddy's house. You're just going to whatever studio you're gonna go to. Whoever had the cheapest rates. Sample Kings. Whoever had the cheapest rates is where we're going to get the song done. We weren't concerned with SSLs and Neves and all of that stuff really back then. It's the reason why even the sound quality of the records even sound different. Because if you listen to them, they're not really that bass heavy. They're kind of mid-rangey. If you listen to both albums, they're really kind of mid-rangey. If you listen to them, you know what I mean?
Right.
So and that kind of ties into what Evil D was saying, where you were just going wherever you could record this music to get it done and get it out. That's kind of what it was, in my opinion, listening to everything back then. So, and to tie it all up, you know, I think Howie T, for this part of the battle, I think Howie T caught that sound and made a better debut for Special Ed in this case.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't tie into the album. You were talking about a whole career, right?
Overall, yeah. Howie T, yeah. I still stand by the statement.
Well, so I'll go next. I'm going to piggyback off of what Scan said because he touched on something that I was thinking. So listening to the Special Ed album, you know, Special Ed has that West Indian background. So it was some of the West Indian influence on his album as well, too.
Right.
So it was more, to me, more of an arrangement of sound, because with the Special Ed album, he had like I Got It Made, but then he had The Mission, and it was this, and he had Party Joints as well too. So it was more of a range of sound with Special Ed, more so than Herbie, what he did with his sound. You can't knock Herbie because he was on fire back then as well too. You know, with Salt and Pepper, with Kid and Play, and just with Kwame and with other artists.
He had a run. He
had a run. He absolutely had a run.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely.
But I just think with Howie T, it was the sound was just more of a different array of different backgrounds within the West Indian sound, within the hip hop sound, and I would say a little bit of the house, if I'm not mistaken, as well too.
Yeah, there is a house record on that album.
That was part of that era too. Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
For me,
I think he's a British-born Jamaican.
That's what the note said. That's what the note said.
So for me, I'm gonna go with Howie T, but you can't not leave Herbie out of that. But Howie T for this round. But Herbie's no slouch at all. So.
And Herbie's from Haiti.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's Haitian. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Haitian guy.
He was banging this Haitian chick I went to school with at 5 Town. She was the
the good
the Good Rev got the best stories.
He's always like a 6th degree of separation in some way, somehow. Whether it's a blunt or a phone number or something, it's like, yeah, check it out.
I can't tell you how many times me and the Good Rev been out mobbing around in Brooklyn, the city, Queens, or whatever, and you hear a story, you're like, what? And then you go somewhere and you're like, holy shit.
Like how we freshmen in college and you driving a Range Rover.
And also he's very particular with his food, always, ever. So it's like 3 a.m, we're trying to go to a bodega and he's like, yo, can you put the cheese on that and get the onion? I'm like, yo, man, just it's like 3 a.m, man. Let's grab the Dutch.
You talking about the Rev?
You gotta have it just so.
You talking about the Rev?
Just so.
Yeah, oh yeah, the Rev, man, the Rev.
Oh, so wait, so I'm gonna piggyback off that. So not only will he do all of that, he won't even eat the fucking sandwich that night.
You gotta
will not eat the shit that night.
You gotta save it. You gotta save it.
I chill with him mad times. We go back to his crib. He puts the shit down, opens up the fridge from some shit that he did the same thing with last night. I'm gonna warm this shit up, and I'm like, but you.
And you be mad as hell.
One on deck,
yeah, you be mad as I'll be mad as hell sometimes. Like, damn, that shit was banging.
Now, but this from last night.
Listen, we got to get some video footage of Rev doing that for the eats part of the show.
That's why you're making that brisket and that turkey spaghetti.
This girl was just yelling about that.
We gotta get everybody else's vote in the room. Like I said, even though technically it don't matter, but just to get it out in the open. Shout out to Miss Money in the room again. Once again, shout out to you,
Miss Mo Money,
Miss Mo Money.
Right, get it right.
I'm blind. Miss Mo Money. Shout out to Project Elevated in the building as well. Shout out to him. Listen, who has to go next? Matter of fact, you're the Triple C.
I'll go next.
You went Triple C. Hold on.
No, wait.
My bad, Triple C. My bad.
I'll go next.
Oh, you got next.
Yeah, I just the Special Ed album, man, just the beats that are on that album. I mean, everyone said enough, but I'm gonna say the way that he flipped the sample for the Bush, and I hope we play that after like later on. That song, I mean, that song was dope as shit to me. I in doing my research and going back and listening, I probably rewound that song probably 5 times in a row. Just like, all right, let me listen to that again. Because I thought that beat, the way he did that beat was so dope, and I've never heard anyone flip it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. And that was early too, so they was early on that.
That was early.
I mean, again, it doesn't matter, but let's stretch this out. Pause. Good Rev. Please expand as much as you like on why. I'm assuming you're picking Howie T as well. On why you picking Howie T for this round?
I mean, I gotta go with Howie T. I love Kwame's production for other artists, but if you play the rhythm, I'm just putting my vote down for that already.
Right.
We would have eventually got there. I mean, we're going to talk about the score at some point, but we would have eventually.
Howie T did Treat Him Right and Just the Two of Us for Chubb.
Right.
And
Right.
like
He also did I Want to Sex You Up.
for Color Me Back. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And those are like three of the important records to hip hop.
And a lot of relationships.
And a lot of relationships. No Brown, son.
I was just gonna say, and the breakdown scene with Shorty in New Jack City.
Right. Your $5 ass down before I make change.
But I go with him. He's I like those beats a lot more on the Special Ed album than I did on the Kwame album. I like Kwame's production later, like after.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He fell into his later. I feel you.
He did.
But,
He got into groove later, yeah.
but after that, when I saw he did I was working the Lloyd Banks record and he did On Fire.
I think that's what put him back on the map.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Quietly, what I discovered today though is that he was producing it for a while for a lot of other big artists too, but under his name. He was going under K1 Million or something like that.
Yeah.
So he was already doing music for a bunch of people like Tweet and other people. I can't think of any other one right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how Tweet hasn't made money off Twitter yet.
I mean, that's a missed opportunity at this point.
I mean, missed opportunity at this point.
Twitter's my God.
Someone fumbled the bag on that one. That's really clear.
The fumbled.
Twitter's
even if she worked out a quarter of a penny for every time he gets mentioned.
Right.
Just on that platform.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yo, but I'm not gonna front that Kwame, he had a gimmick thing that I fell into the trap of rocking the polka dots.
Triple C had that dime. Triple C had that dime. Triple C had that dime on his flat top. That's what it was.
You was rocking polka dots?
You had the polka dots?
Yeah, I had the polka
dots. I was gonna call him out on the slope, but you're saying he had a dyed slope? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's not a slope. That's a Gumby.
A Gumby.
It all makes sense. This is why Trip C is ready to ride on anybody and everybody. On sight. I was the nigga wearing polka dots. Bow.
Made me change my whole style up.
Yeah. Yo, Trip, I get it. I ain't never saying nothing sideways to you, my brother.
Glad
you on my side.
I had the black and white, and I had the black and polka dot shirts.
But yo, you know what? Let's talk about it.
We all had a
Let's talk about. I was just about to say it's funny because we're talking about
before we talk about, can we just wrap up the game real quick? Can we just wrap this up real quick? No, we can do this real quick because I want to expand on everything you're talking about. Let's be clear. Let's not hold back anymore. At this point, let's get if you know, I don't know if we beat any records tonight, but we did come to the end of tonight's game. If you know the math, you know the math. Like I said, it's mathematically impossible to move on any further tonight. But we decided to take on two young MCs back in the year.
We only went 2 rounds though, right?
3 rounds.
Nah, we went 3, bro.
Wow.
It was that fast.
That fast, Trip.
You guys are making me feel guilty. Listen, we're talking about 2 young, like I said, MCs that were very talented by the early age of teenage, middle age years. We're talking 15, 16 years old, dropping their first debut albums on major labels. We're talking about Kwame, the boy genius, featuring A New Beginning's first debut project, 1989, January 31st of 1989. So it was like 89 first project, if you will, going up
against first quarter.
You know they ain't care. Going up against Brooklyn's own Special Ed. Again, another young teenager, about 17, 16 years old by the time he's dropping this project, which means he's recording this at an even younger age, and how he teaches studio, which is insane. And you got to talk about the youngest in charge coming out in May of 89. So a few months down the line from your man Kwame. And we talked about, Special Ed's project tonight. And we put these 2 projects against each other. And while we tried to go past 3 rounds, it didn't happen. Special ed straight sweep across the board. 3 zip. You can't go for any further. It's a sweep. Special ed takes the win tonight. The youngest in charge. Give it up. Eats, beats, and rhymes. Give it up.
Knock out in the third, baby.
Special ed.
Out in the third.
Everybody in the chat room
The
knows
youngest in charge was Ron G.
The youngest in charge was Ron G. He coined that for sure. Special ed, another missed opportunity. See what I'm saying? Should have cashed it.
Damn. Yo, Queens lost.
Queens finally
Queens took
finally
a
lost.
L. Hold that.
So-
Finally took it out.
So we was just talking about the polka dots, and I see that the poll is up to see who had polka dot gear, which I think is really dope.
Oh, right.
Maybe my mind is a little too cloudy right now, but I don't remember having any polka dot gear. But it was just so funny on how big of impact that was on the culture,
Man,
and
wasn't it though?
And in how quick it switched. Like it was boom. You know what I'm saying? And it then it was like anybody wear polka dots. Then it was like only R&B dudes wear polka dots. And then it was like R&B dudes was like, no, I don't wear polka dots. It was like it was just so quick on how it faded out.
After Big said it, nobody wore it.
So
Nobody say it till later though.
But it was
right.
But if you
it was
think
done
about
at that point.
it was like it wasn't just
quick
the
trend.
polka dots. It was like sort of like the baggy pants, and they had the these shoes with like the thick soles on them.
I call it the MTV Club era.
The dress
I call it the Club MTV era. Like, you know what I'm saying? Club MTV. Downtown Julie Brown.
Mr. September brings up a good point. He said the polka dots was house music culture.
I could agree with that.
Which is true.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Which is sort of, but you also had, like I said, people like we talk about R&B artists, like the style where the polka dot fell into play as well, something, let's say, along the lines of like Every Little Step I Take by Bobby Brown. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of outfit.
Shit.
Right. But he's I'm not saying he's wearing polka dots in that
right.
I'm just saying, like, that trend of like you ain't wearing polka dots. It wasn't, let's be clear, like when we talk about polka dots became fashionable, it became fashionable in, let's call it like in terms of like the Uptown Records kind of vibe, not the fucking Def Jam Records kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody in the hood wearing polka dots as much as it was people like we're still listening to hip hop, but we're dancing. You know what I'm saying? Like you said.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you think about it again, this is still what we could coin it, right? These were still the undefined years of hip hop. You know what I mean? Like these were still the years where like we were still trying. You're trying to find yourself, so to speak, right? Because if you think about it, after the Kwame era, right? Because although the native tongue era wasn't the Kwame era, it's around the same time if you think about it. Yeah, and it really wasn't until like and it wasn't until like really that 92 dark Brooklyn, New York sound came out that killed all that shit. If you think about it.
Yeah, true.
And you bring up Bobby Brown in this, he was out here fully nigging. fully.
I mean,
fully.
I mean, oh my God, why am I forgetting? I was just talking with Mr. September. There wasn't artists from LI rocking polka dots though.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure about that. I don't know.
I'm standing on his hill making it distinct right now.
I'm trying to figure it out. I can't remember a damn name, but I'm saying like, nah, we wasn't rocking polka dots.
They had polka dots, didn't they not wear polka dots?
Yeah,
correct,
true,
Father.
Everybody did. I think it's funny and hilarious, but everybody wore polka dots, man. Like somebody who just said it before, Mr. September said RP polka dots 89, 91. You know what I mean? Like it was just so funny.
It was a quick trend.
a
Yeah,
good 2-3 years, a good 3, you know.
It definitely
was big.
Was,
and polka dots was everywhere though. And it was, I think that for me, polka dots attributes to the sound to the 80s, the advancement in recording music, the different sounds in the music, where all the technology that was getting into the music and shit like that. So, you know, polka dots is whatever, but I ain't too mad at it.
And I mean, think about it too. God trip.
As I said, we went for polka dots to Carhartt.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that because if you think about it, it also reflects because we look at it for what it is, right? But polka dots, what? You're dancing, you're having a good time, you out with the girls. It's just a whole different mindset.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the Timbs, the 40 belows, the hoodies. That's a
40
different
belows.
mindset.
Oh,
That's
damn.
a different mindset.
Different mindset, yeah.
Yeah.
It
It's a
is.
different, and it becomes different New York at that time. Based off
Right.
Now they laying out a bunch of names in the chat room. They talking about Carl Kanai. They talking about what Father MC was rocking at the time, which would have
Father MC, cross colors.
Cross colors.
I had a point too with something else earlier. Because you know what's funny though is that it's funny that again we're talking about the polka dot era and all those things. But in listening to this Kwame album, regardless, it made me realize, even though hip hop was still kind of experimental, but still how fun it was, right? Because in comparison to what we hear now, it's one of those things like, damn, we could look at the polka dot era a certain way and we could, view it through a certain lens. But I'm like, damn, look at what this shit is now. You know what I mean? And it's like,
true.
It's interesting to see the direction the music is now, because those records were fun. You talked about girls, you could do certain things, and it's like now all of that is removed from the culture now.
Yeah, you're not allowed to make a record that's fun and it be dope. If it's a fun record, it's got to be pitched towards something or some sort of merchandise or some shit like that. Yeah, you're right.
I don't understand
Project
why.
Elevated. Project Elevated said, shout out to the Black Bart Simpson shirts.
Word. Shout out to the Black Bart Simpson shirt.
That was crazy 80s right there.
Like you see this principal about to get fired in St. Louis because he let Sexy Red perform Pound Town at the school.
No. Are you serious?
Like, what are you thinking?
No.
What are you thinking, yo? These kids are 13, 14 years old.
I saw that.
I heard she technically didn't perform.
But she got on. I saw the videos. She came on the court and they rushed the court and he stopped it. But this is the point that I'm gonna make behind that. Scam, was it you or was it you, Jules, that said that you heard that song on the radio in New York?
I said it. I was shocked when I heard it on the radio.
So
I heard it on the radio.
If the joint is on the radio,
it was you.
The joint is on the radio.
Yeah, no, you could do. Once it reaches radio,
it's a hit record.
No, you could do.
They're gonna hear it. But she's
no, you could do.
Yeah. If the shit is on the radio, how you gonna get mad at having it played in your school?
Yeah, it's wild because at that point, but see, once again, right? Just to keep this going real quick, when you heard those 2 Live Crew songs, you heard that at a certain time, a certain place,
right.
That was separate when you heard those kinds of records. But now everything is so mixed and merged that it's the equivalent to me and us having this conversation of playing 2 Live Crew at 12 noon in the daytime on the radio. If that makes any sense. For
sure. Like, but the 2 Live Crew in Buffalo, we had the Jukebox channel.
Right.
And then later it was just called The Box. Pop That Coochie was number 1 for 3 weeks.
It was eye candy. Like crazy.
Week.
The video was crazy. It was like
this chick got the main lyric kids remember in her song is her coochie pink and her booty hole brown. Your booty hole better not be brown.
You have to love the American education system.
It better not be brown. Like, what the fuck is wrong with that?
I don't know if they was bleaching balloon knots back then, bro.
No. All you need is toilet tissue.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yo, can I ask the room a question, and I asked the chat room the same thing?
Oh,
we finished up early tonight, so I feel like we could talk about a couple of things since we're talking about a couple of things. Can we talk about the topic at hand that was going on for most of the week with Tony Yayo talking about bringing up the discussion Biggie versus Ice Cube, like who do you got?
I didn't make nothing of it. Everybody make a big deal about that.
I didn't even see.
Yo,
I'm sorry.
What do you? I say that to you right now. What do you think when I say that Biggie versus Ice Cube?
Big got two classic albums. Ice Cube has one of the best 3 album runs in rap history.
It does.
Correct.
And you could check numbers wise. You can say Big does too, because that's a double album. So you got 3.
Okay, true. But the argument was who was the better storyteller is what it came down to.
Oh, is that what it came down to? Okay,
interesting. Yeah, DJ EFN said that he felt like Cube was a better storyteller. And if I think back on it, man, I agree, bro. I agree. Not to say that Biggie was a slouch at all, but Summer Vacation was a dope song. And then if I get into Today Was a Good Day, is there a better storytelling song than Today Was a Good Day in hip hop ever?
100%.
No.
I mean, you could raise that. You know, I could raise that by saying Got Story to Tell, for example, just as one record.
Which is true.
But that's not better than Today Was a Good Day.
That's just one.
Everybody.
Don't Kiss Goodnight.
Jules, good dope song. Everyone knows Today Was a Good Day. Everyone.
Yes.
Everyone.
Everybody.
It was a very well,
it's
properly marketed song.
Yeah, and the video was fucking dope. It's the reason why I wanted
to
with hydraulics in the first place.
Yeah,
I mean, there was a dude that did a whole like analysis on the day.
He knows the day.
Oh yeah, it was really a day. You know what I'm saying? And respectfully, that's right. Respectfully,
but they did the same analysis.
That magnitude of record.
Respectfully, they did the same analysis to figure out that it was Anthony Mason for the Biggie Got a Story to Tell record. They was like, well,
yeah.
Did they or did Fat Joe give?
But it wasn't Anthony Mason.
It
was Anthony Mason. Bro, I'm from this part of
the Hey, I believe Good Rev and his knowledge.
Yes.
Who was it, Rev? Who was it?
Rev?
It might have been like John Starks or somebody, but it wasn't Anthony Mason.
Shoo! I'm glad the Queen's guy didn't take an L. Thank you.
It was.
I'll go with that. I like that. Let's stick to that. Yeah.
That was a good story. Big is amazing, but
yeah,
your man Ice Cube hijacked his whole group on Jacking for Beats.
Yeah,
he hijacked beats from everybody on his label, rhymed over them beats and said what?
It's a certain bias too, man. I think it's a certain bias that I think sometimes like East Coast cats we have when it comes to some of the other artists, and we've talked about Ice Cube on his channel, and I think Ice Cube doesn't get the accolades that he deserves for being one of the best when it comes to this. You know what I mean? And I agree. I understand why. I understand. Say it again.
He wasn't sweating. He was on Who Kids.
Because he don't gotta sweat it. He already know.
His track record is solidified.
Yeah, I thought it was like one of those fake ass little fucking things. I was like, is this really a thing? Not in the sense of I wanted to say Big was better than Cube, but Cube was better than Big. But it was like, why are we even
have this conversation?
Why are we having this conversation?
I think a lot of people are confusing that conversation with Big because I don't think they're thinking more story. I think they're thinking like Big as the artist, his delivery, his flow. But when it comes to story,
I get that.
I totally get that.
No, with Big, you can't really mess with his delivery or flow. That dude is sick. But when
he was sick.
You gotta kind of give Ice Cube the slight edge when it comes to the storytelling part.
What was the name of the track when Big was talking about his man Arizona Ron from Tucson?
Ain't that Long Kiss Goodnight?
Oh yeah.
Long Kiss Goodnight. Ain't that Long Kiss Goodnight?
Yeah.
That was Long Kiss Goodnight. That was oh damn.
Right. Fuck can I think of that?
Somebody got that? No, that's somebody.
But you know what's funny too is that but see, when you start saying storytellers, right? I'm gonna start throwing in Scarface, and then I'm throwing Slick Rick. I'm gonna throw these guys into this conversation.
Slick Rick.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So in that conversation, those four already are probably like your top storytellers, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Would you throw a Guru in there?
Guru?
Not for storytelling.
Not for this topic. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, not for storytelling.
Not for storytelling. He has songs, but not in the comparison that we're discussing the four we just mentioned. No.
They're on another.
But you know what? With Breeze bringing him up, though, it makes me want to have that same conversation too. Like, does Guru get the props that he deserves too?
No,
Guru doesn't actually.
Like, why?
No,
I think of a record. I think of a record like Just to Get a Rep for this, for example. Like,
Great, yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
amazing.
That's what I was thinking of. Funny you said that.
So I knew you were thinking that because I'm like, that's a fucking dope. But then I counteracted my own argument going, but for me, and I know there's probably more, but for me, that's like their only standout kind of storytelling record. I'm sure they have others, but that was what made me go like, oh, that's the only one. But that one,
Yeah.
saying I might have to go.
A lot of people forget.
Like the best stories mixtape or something like that. That's hip hop mixtape.
They forget Ice Cube recorded that album in Long Island. His first 2 albums solo.
That's right, he did. That's right, he did.
But with the bounce
Right, easy, Ike. Easy.
That's right, he did.
Ike's like, he sure did.
That's right.
You see him lean into the camera?
And he leaned in.
Flag on you.
Yo, because honestly, back then, for me, seeing Ice Cube and thinking and him being attributed to the West Coast and like I said, hydraulic cars and all that shit, years down the line when I get involved in the music and shit like that, and I was like, Ice Cube recorded his first 2 albums here on Long Island. It was boom, you know what I mean? Thinking about just how everything just, especially at that time, coming about to get something out, you know what I mean?
I think that's all in respect to Chuck D.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Music Palace, right?
I believe so.
And Hempstead, I think.
Yeah,
Same thing with Eric Sermon, man. There's a lot of people like Rick Ross spent a lot of time out here in the island. What's the Pitbull? You know what I mean? There's a lot of people in hip hop that's made their way, stayed out here in the island.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Pitbull used to spit.
I found out about 305 and P.D. Pablo at the same time.
And I think your man Shaq too. I think Shaquille O'Neal was hanging out there as well with some people.
It doesn't matter. Whoever got the studio, whoever, it doesn't matter where they go.
I know Shaq admit I was working the Shaquille O'Neal project, and the first rhyme that he ever wrote on his own was the song with Black Thought in Common called "In the Sun." Said, this is the first time I wrote my raps because he was like Dr. Dre. Whoever's on the song with him wrote his rap. You know what I'm saying? Like I still, what was this joint with him, RZA, and Method Man?
That's my shit.
No hooks.
Shit.
Joe Hurden, what up, man?
That's my shit.
Yo, Joe Hurden, Guru needs to be involved in that storytellers conversation. Project Elevator brought up Cormega. Cormega gets busy too.
Yeah, Cormega tells like stories. Yeah.
That's one of the last shows that I went to when I was in New York. He did a show in Amityville at what was the spot, Ike, in the Village?
Downtown on you talking about
Amityville Music Hall. What was
Amityville Music Hall? And then you had the other one. You had the other spot. Hold on, man. I'm hot, man. Hold on.
What are you talking about? You talking about Mega?
Mega did his first show in Long Island there.
Yeah, I've Amityville Music Hall right there in the corner.
Like 2 years ago, and he was when
I hosted that. Yeah, I hosted that one.
He did some songs from the Testament. It was like,
I hosted. That's right. I hosted that one. Yeah. I hosted that one. The Joel Ortiz joint over there.
Oh, that was my show.
Did I make any money on that? Hold on.
Shout out to the medicine man. Shout out to the medicine man.
But Li be getting, slighted, but I definitely found out about Rick Ross and P.D. Pablo at the same time because they were both messing with Eric Sermon.
Right.
Eric Sermon took a lot of people under his way. He was always down to. I mean, he understood the concept on some Dre shit, like get a couple of these guys under you and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And he did that for a while. Even Scram Jones was kind of toying with that idea at one point when I used to manage him.
Shout out to my dude Boogie, man. Shout out to everybody over there at Def Squad.
After the DMC that's coming to New York. Who sent the flyer out about the DMC coming to New York?
Me.
It is?
Yeah.
And shout out to Digging Through the Crates.
The finals, yeah.
And shout out to Digging Through the Crates coming to New York to Dumbo.
Word win.
I'm coming up.
I missed
the
last one.
I'm coming up for that one.
When is it? Do we know?
It's in August. It's in August.
That's right around the corner, fellas. Make sure you come up here. Like I said, it's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be hot. For that one.
I'm pretty sure.
We gotta throw a party. My birthday in August.
Yo, me too, man. You already know my birthday coming up too.
Yep.
Listen, everybody in the chat room, like I said, what's the next topic at hand? Because we still got some time. We did good tonight on time. So we talked about, we talked about the Biggie. We talked about the controversial Biggie and Ice Cube topic. We finished up talking about special ed and Kwame. What's the next topic at hand? What we talking about?
We talked about whatever the red girl's name is. I don't know.
Poundtown, Sexy Red. You want to talk about Sexy Red?
Actually, we already covered Sexy Red.
Sexy Red.
We covered Sexy Red. We covered Sexy Red already. We don't.
I just can't believe how popular this song got because it's not good
at all. I thought it was a joke. To be honest with you, I thought it was a joke.
Joe heard him with the ninth.
Somebody tweeted it like, "Who are making these beats? Where the fuck are they buying them from?"
Have you guys seen that Danny Brown meme where he's sitting down talking to
yes, where you talking about make some good shit.
He said you can't say make no fucking Cuban links over, so you can't be talking about your shit better until you make something better than that.
Right.
And I fucks with Danny Brown heavy.
Yo, I was like, oh shit.
I booked Danny Brown's first headlining show at Southpaw in Brooklyn.
Danny Brown can rhyme. The drugs got him for a second, but he can rap his ass off.
He can rap his ass off, yo.
He looks a bit more like relaxed.
Rap their ass off. Like
a lot of Detroit dudes. A lot of Detroit dudes can rap.
Yes. Young
Joe heard him said Ninth Wonder versus Alchemist. I don't think that would be close.
I would go with Alchemist.
Yeah,
of course. Everybody's gonna go with Alchemist.
I mean, I would.
Yeah, I like Ninth, but
I do too. Look at Jules' face.
Alan,
I ain't hosting right now. I can say that.
Well, we did Ninth versus Jake 1.
And we did Alchemist versus Just Blaze.
We did.
By the way, you can
Just Blaze versus Bink.
If you want to go check them out.
Who did I have Bink go against?
We had Bink go against Jake 1.
Bink went against Jake 1 too.
Oh man,
that was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. It was some bullshit.
He takes that
bullshit.
I got high tech.
Fucking ridiculous.
We do got to talk about high tech.
Oh, Ninth Wonder versus high tech.
I'd have to vote high tech. Just
I got high tech
because I got a chance to meet him with the Rev over there down there at Cornerstone.
I have to go with high tech too.
I mean, we could have this conversation, but it's a lot of stuff to bring up.
Yeah.
So, unless we specify certain projects, because that's a lot. They worked with a lot of beats. Yeah, I mean, like
Tech was on fire for like 3 years in a row.
Tech was on fire for a long time, man.
Like everything even was just so dope.
I like the Ninth Wonder high
tech.
Even
the joint he did. I like the Ninth Wonder high tech idea. I mean, and, rest in peace of Sean Price. The joint with Random Acts was one of my favorite albums. I love that album.
Yeah, Random Acts is dope, man.
Black Milk too. I gotta get
that, man.
Because Black Milk, I think Black Milk did a few joints on Random Acts.
He did the whole thing.
Black Milk is fire.
Did something with Black Milk just did something with Cypress Hill. The last album they put out, he produced that whole album, the whole joint.
And I think he just dropped a new single. He's getting ready to drop a new project, actually, Black Milk.
Yep.
Yeah. I love Black Milk.
What was the group High Tech was in at first? I thought they was from Long Island because they was on a train.
Eternal?
No.
The Talib, the Reflection Eternal joint. Talib, right?
Before that.
No, the one before that.
The joint
Secrets of the Sand.
Was it? I thought it was Mood.
Mood. That's it.
No, he wasn't in that group.
Mood.
He wasn't in that group though, but Mood was from Cincinnati.
He wasn't in Mood.
I thought he was in the group.
Optics is from
that album was dope, man.
Optics cleared this up for us one time, or at least cleared it up for me one time.
Okay.
He's from like Cincinnati.
Okay. Yeah, he's from Cincinnati.
Yeah. Mood was dope, man.
Yeah, Mood
was very. That was a dope album. If you don't know that album, you see this, check the Mood album out. Very dope.
I remember they had like the big star, like the Star David.
Yeah.
That was confusing.
It was like, but again, beef from New York, you're like, that's some 5% of shit. Like, this is gonna be some like on the corner telling me I'm foul for eating this ham sandwich kind of shit. You know what I mean?
I was having an argument. I was having an argument the other day on Twitter where this dude was like, "Oh, Living Proof is a forgettable primo beat." I said, "Do you know DJ Premier gave Group Home his best set of beats?"
That is one of the best worst albums.
People just be hating the hate sometimes.
So many they do, man.
Yeah,
I think people just say shit just to say it.
Just to say shit because
just to say
everybody want to
stuff.
be the
People
smartest
just do
fucking
stuff
thing under the sun, bro. That's the most stupidest shit. Like I get so frustrated. Like, yo, you're supposed to literally ignore those people. You're literally supposed to look over.
You have to. You can't
and then just walk straight. You can't, man.
I do. That's why I'm one of those people. I don't think everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I think you're entitled to what
I'm with you, Rev. I'm with you, Rev.
If you can't defend that shit, why are you saying it?
Right.
It makes no sense. I got the instrumental album to Group Home because
me too.
Malachi the Nutcracker was not a good rapper.
Right. Yeah, we talked about it. We talked.
He
wasn't.
I think we did talk about it. You know how he got on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for somebody to battle Angie Martinez. Who's going to battle Angie Martinez? Step up and battle Adam.
Hey man, I came across the Angie Martinez video the other day. The If I Could Go joint. That joint knocked with Little Mo. Yeah. That shit knocks. Angie had one with that one, son.
Yeah. Son, she had a budget. She had a budget. Sylvia Rose.
See, look at that. Angie Martinez had a budget. That's crazy.
Yeah. Had a huge budget.
Yo, Angie Martinez was on the joint with Christina Aguilera and Little
Yeah.
Jay-Z pushed her.
She started that joint off too. Respect her, son.
What happened to Sicario? Was it Sicario writing for her too?
On the second album. If I'm not mistaken, the If I Can Go record you're talking about, I think Jay-Z wrote that record.
Oh, okay.
And I don't care.
Jay-Z Ghost wrote for Angie Martinez. That sounds crazy.
She was Sylvia Rone's baby.
Nah, I know. I'm just saying.
Sylvia Rone's baby. She was like, Sylvia Rone was like, she's the queen of New York radio. She's like, she's on that fucking guest appearance Little Kim record. It worked out. She was like, I'm signing her. And then she was also a female CEO with a female artist. It was like,
I get it, but it ties into everything we discussed tonight. Like, look at the direction of like, that was the person who had the budget and had your ear.
Yeah, but she was also no, but she's on the radio every single day, Scan.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying, I guess it's
actually a good investment. If you're talking about the time, the only form of medium.
Is it a good investment now?
Say no. That was a waste of money.
You know what? Though, Scan, I will say this. Not in every party, but in certain parties, you throw on the Angie Martinez If I Could Go joint.
Angie Martinez is in the DJ bag.
Hobo's bag.
This is the same man who said he'd never played The Creator, produced by P. Rock. He said I never played that record. But he'll play Angie Martinez.
What are you talking about?
Yo, please clip this. This is going on.
You said you never played The Creator.
This is going on World Star.
I never said that.
Yo, wait, Scared, you hear this, man? He said he would never play The Creator at her party. He was I don't know.
Never said that.
You said that last episode.
Yo,
he just dropped the P. Rock versus Large Professor episode.
He did. He said on the episode.
We just dropped P. Rock and Large Professor episode. Check it out on YouTube. I'm letting you know right now. This man literally says that. It was The Creator versus Looking at the Front Door.
Yes.
And he was like, I would never in my life ever, not even if they made me, they paid me. No.
I was gonna say word.
Listen, no judgment. I'm just saying, Angie Martinez and DJ bag. That's deep. That's deep.
No, but he's right. No, but I also will say what Hobo said is true though. That record go because, like I said, she was on the radio. She was playing her own record.
Yeah.
She was supporting the record. She was part of what is it? MS. Like every station was playing like that across the country. Like it was like, one of ours is gonna do this. Like let's push it, and they pushed it, and it worked a little bit. I mean, keep in mind, It's not like anything really came out of that. She got a second album, which again, that's when that dude Sicario stepped in. But someone talked about it in the chat room, like she had a budget, bro. She had producers, she had writers.
I can't wait till we edit this show. I cannot wait.
Like for that record right there.
Video joint.
Hobo, for that record, if we can go. Do you know who produced that record? I'm asking.
Yeah.
No, I don't. No. Let me
I
look
bet you it's a legit ass producer.
We might as well.
When the chat room can figure that out for us, if I can go, I bet you it's a legit ass producer too. But I'm almost positive Jay wrote that record too, because it's like
Swiss.
You can easily see it in the credits and shit.
Well, she didn't underperform. She performed it right. So
she did. Remember, she appeared on a Redman record.
Yeah.
What song?
It wasn't a Redman record. It was KRS. It was a KRS-One featuring Redman and Angie record. It was the Rapture the remix record, the Step Into the War remix. Featuring Redman and Angie.
Okay.
So
y'all remember that?
Rick Rock produced that record.
Okay.
Rick Rock is a big fucking deal.
Rick Rock is a big deal. Yeah.
Rick Rock is a big deal. Right now, she had Salam Remy, Rockwilder, the Neptunes.
Why wouldn't you?
That's a huge.
Why wouldn't you? Even as a producer, you're automatically getting radio play.
Yeah,
You're automatically getting radio play because you're messing with the person on the radio. What do you? Of course.
Yo, but you know, Joe Hurden points out one important thing too. Besides all the jokes we took about Auntie on the tracks, let's not forget she used to get mad dope promos from artists.
She did.
Like Tim Crackerman, J Root, for example, right? That's one example. I remember a Beat Nuts one. I remember too many artists that I can't even begin to remember their name. It was exclusive material just for the beginning of her top 9 at 5 or 5 at 9 or whatever. Like it was crazy. She had dope.
We got to put respect on her name, kid.
She had you got to put respect.
Got to put some respect on her name.
She had a song. She had a song with Prodigy. Big Pun.
Yeah, she did,
man.
Wow.
She had a song with Jay. She had a song with Jay. Yo, stop.
So okay,
I nominate Angie Martinez for the next battle.
Okay. All right. So
who's going to go? Like Scan said, who's going to go against Angie Martinez?
All right. So now let's flip it too. So since we just nominated Angie Martinez as the GOAT, right now, what we just basically did, right? Look, check it out.
I didn't vote.
Check it out. So now I want who. Do we get like Sexy Red with like Young Thug and like and like who else is hot? Like do we get like a Sexy Red with like a Pop Smoke, like a Pop Smoke remix or something like that? Like who do we get on the Sexy Red train right here? Because it's jokes, but all things considered, she's popular right now. So I'm curious, since we're having this conversation. Since we're having this conversation, and we just made Angie the GOAT, right? Angie's the GOAT right now, So,
what's the question? I'm sorry.
What's the other girl's name again?
Sexy Red.
Pound Town.
Sexy Red.
You got to get Kodak Black. We got to get Kodak Black on that joint. Son.
I would go with Q, because Q kind of introduced all of this. Q is the reason Migos is famous. Because they were
how so? I don't know. Put me on.
They Ice Cube? No, QUE. He's from Atlanta, and he had a song called Young Nigga. That's where Migos came with.
I've never heard that song. Never heard that song ever.
It just says he has a song called Young Ninja. Like, I know that song.
I never heard that joint. Never.
That song is you play that. I was playing when I used to walk around. I used to walk around downtown Manhattan with a boombox every day.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I went past these kids. They were like 14.
Wait, Rev. We're not talking about like the 80s and the 90s. I'm talking maybe like up to a few years ago. Like,
yeah, it was like 2013.
I'd say like in the last 10 years, and if that, we're not talking about too long that he was doing this shit. So continue, Rev.
And I played that song. That's the first song Migos are on. And this little kid was like, he talked to his friend. He was like, "Yo, he's playing Q Amigos," and I was surprised that he knew who Q was. But he introduced the sound. He made you ever heard that song OG Bobby Johnson?
Oh,
yes.
OG Bobby Johnson. Yes.
That's Q.
Gotcha.
Ah, okay. Okay.
That's cute, but his first single, Migos, young rich niggas made a million off of swiping.
Okay.
That's how they came up with YRN. I was like, what does YRN mean?
I'm sorry. I just will continue to say I'm glad and happy to be the old man in the room. Call me grumpy. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I do try. I do.
You're only a year older
than
me.
Listen. Hey. And people be like, yo, why you so grumpy to this shit? And I'm like, yo, what fucking sense does this make, though, man? Like, and I tried, like, right, I just looked up homegirl, because, and I'm like, did I even hear the song? Like, I was like, did I even hear the song? Like, when, like,
Sexy Red, son.
The first time I saw Glorilla, when I heard that F, I was like, what the fuck?
She's not even rapping on beat.
I was like, what the hell? I'm like, yo, I'm fine being lost. Let me close my window, close the door, roll with my bud, put on my Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? My tribe, and I'll be fine, B. You know what I'm saying? I try though. You have to give it a listen. You have to give it a listen though.
You gotta listen to it. You gotta give it.
You gotta at least listen to it once.
You got to. And just because you listen to it doesn't mean you have to like it. And it's okay if you do like some of it, because it's some stuff that I
was gonna
like.
say that too. It's okay if you like it too. It's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's personal.
Don't be afraid of Pound Town. Pause. Don't be afraid of
Yo, but that record is some bullshit. That record is some bullshit.
I swear to you,
agreed.
I've never heard this record. I feel like I need to.
Yeah, you're better off.
Only listen to like 15, 20 seconds. Because after that, you decrease your intelligence. After that, man, it's gonna start seeping out.
And for that Glorilla song, like I did that same process for about like maybe 2 months. So it was like then I was like I would stop it. Like I don't need to go any further. And it was just like, all right, I have to at least sit through this once. Like I can't just take. And it was like, holy fuck, why did I do this? This is so stupid. You know what I'm saying? It sucks. It sucks.
Yo, that song is wildly popular, bro.
Because I do want to understand. You know what I mean? I got my daughter and my nephew and nieces. And so you're like, okay. Yeah. I try to let them know, like when they're hearing music, I'm like, yo, stop. I'm like, yo, don't fall into all of this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, music is just music, but I do also want to understand, because I remember when I was just down in Maryland at my dude's house. This is my man since like 3rd grade, and I'm looking at him like, holy shit! If he didn't go away and do what he did in the military, Lord knows what stupid shit we would have been doing. You know, so I can't sit here and knock all of it, but you got to at least try to understand it. And I agree. I agree
with you.
True. It's got to be extended, because that song is absolutely bullshit. And the fact that a principal thought it was cool for her to perform that in front of young teenagers just because she's from St. Louis, it doesn't like St. Louis.
It doesn't make sense.
I couldn't believe it.
That's a different agenda right there. He was that little fucking freak was probably looking for a girlfriend after that shit, man. Fuck him. That don't make no sense.
I mean, you bring her out, and then you expect them to not wild out. And that's what they did. They wild out.
It's commercial. You can't control that at that point.
They wild out, man. They listen to that shit, bro.
I understand he wanted to do something good for the kids, man. But you know,
yeah. But then tell her to do another song.
Yeah, like there's got to be a level of I know what Pound Town is. I don't know if you know what it is, Miss Sexy Red, but I don't know if we could perform this song here tonight. So let's perform. That's all you got to say.
Like that sounds like some shit Al
Bundy said. It absolutely does.
Pound Town at the nudie bar.
Yo, yo.
Triple C executive producer letting us know we 9:30 on the dot right now. We're gonna go ahead and start to wrap things up. Yeah.
Yo, Triple C is ready.
He's always on
point. Get me out of here.
His Uber Eats is on.
Yo,
the
so
way.
are we gonna
Yeah.
are we gonna talk about the fact that we had picked another battle previously and then decided to not do that one because what we thought was gonna happen actually did happen.
It still happened.
Still
Still
happened.
baby. You still happened.
Still happened.
We initially thought that it would be a better idea to go with the second albums as tonight's battle. We initially wanted to put up. Oh, he got a crazy name for the second album. I don't even remember, like the Polkadelic Experience or something like that.
Yeah,
That sounds
that's a good
about
one.
right.
You want it.
Versus Legal, if I'm not mistaken. That was the name of the second album.
Yeah, that was the second one.
Yeah.
I love that Legal album, man. I like that special album.
That Legal album was good, man.
Yeah, it's a good album.
Pretty big singles on the Kwame album as well. One of the big boys, Only You, but apparently we got informed by the suggestion box at EVR that this battle's shit.
That's doing the
Come up
homework.
with something else. And we came up with this, and I hope you're happy you know who you are. You look at yourself in the mirror every night before you go to sleep. No, but I think it was a good battle. I mean, listen, the better album won, and it was what it was. Again, it was two guys coming from the same range, like I said, of being young teenagers, which is already crazy at the time, because I don't think much, I could be wrong, except for LL, right? Not LL, obviously, but that continuation of like really young, like again, 15, 16, 17, like pretty young to be like, we're going to give you a record deal. Sure. Like, let's go. I think it's pretty, and they have like 3 to 4 videos a piece. Like that's pretty cool too. So just so you guys know, we're wrapping it up. The other rounds would have been the following, just so you know, round number 4 would have been the best second single, which would have been The Rhythm versus Think About It. And round number 5, if we got that far, would have been best third singles. You Got to Get Down versus I'm the Magnificent. Sounds like this.
But trick question there. Trick question.
What's up?
Because they're both remixes for those 2 songs.
But both those versions appear on the album, though.
The remixes for both are better than actually both album versions.
We were only talking about the album versions.
Ooh, then they both took L's.
I'm the Magnificent is not that much different than the remix.
Say it again.
I'm the Magnificent isn't that much different than the remix.
There's like a bass line on it, and it's a little bit different. It's a little bit.
The bing, and then you got the other beat for third single. You got that's what it would have been.
Yeah, there was a video for that too.
Triple C, executive producer, letting us know to wrap it up, B. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for joining us again every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We love having you guys here in the chat room. Shout out to everybody. Joe heard them. It's September. The Urs was in here. Who else was in here tonight? I don't even remember.
Ursula,
Malcontent, yeah.
Was in here.
Project Elevated.
Yeah, shout out to everybody.
Mo Money. Yeah, word up.
Mo Money, word.
I thought Malcolm was going to jump in. It's the 80s. He said he wanted something from the 80s.
You know what? Triple C to put the make it part at the end.
Oh my God. Oh, that was disgusting. 18 seconds into the video, a sexy rap, some dude puts her toe in his mouth, man. He was out of the street. It was man, you see, this is what I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about.
We're going to raid out of here real quick. Again, every Monday night, thanks for joining us, everybody in the chat room. Shout out to you guys. Check us out on YouTube, Eats, Beats, and Rhymes, one word. All your audio podcast needs. Find us on iHeartMedia, Amazon, Podcast, Apple, all that good stuff. You'll find us there. And we're going to raid out right now in the next few minutes. Fellas, good fun.
Chris.
Shout out to Chris, no doubt.
Chris. Shout out to her. All right, we're gonna rate out DJ Lick a Shot. Make sure you stay in there and say what's up to him.
Lick a shot. Blah.
Say the whole thing.
DJ Lick a shot. And say the whole thing. Sure. Or hang out with us and send emojis. This is where we look like one big, happy family walking into this room together.
Right.
I feel like we all gained some knowledge from today's show.
I think again, yes. I think the Howie T knowledge train was pretty heavy tonight. You know what I mean? Oh, the Rev is back. Oh goodness.
Boom.
And we
I rated out, so you can stop broadcasting now.